Lugia V-Star finally has its high damage output partner with Regigigas. The new Regigigas from Prismatic Evolutions has 160 HP, really high for a basic Pokemon, and the crazy attack Jewel Breaker. For 4 colorless energies, it does 100 damage plus 230 more if it's attacking a Terra Pokemon. The biggest problem with Lugia V-Star and the main reason why it's fallen out of favor in the format is because it just struggles to do big damage against things like Charizard EX, Dragapult EX, all of these 300 plus HP Pokemon. You would need like a Weirdeer or just a 2-shot everything to be able to take, those big knockouts. With Regigigas, we can take one-hit KOs on our opponent's big Terra Pokemon, which were the main reason, the biggest reason why Lugia was no longer a viable option if you were taking the game seriously. The deck list consists of 4 Lugia V, 3 Lugia V-Star. You have to run the 4 Lugia V. If you miss Lugia V on your first turn, you're having a really, really bad time. We have the 4 Archeops, of course. We run 2 Lumineon. Lumineon is so strong in this deck. It lets you pull off so many combos. With Item Lock being in the format, it allows you to get cards such as Serena, Kieran, whatever you need to be able to discard or to increase your damage output. We still run the Weirdeer V, just an overall really, really strong card. You end up getting a lot of energy attached to like your Lugia and your Regigigas. You can pull all of those off with your Weirdeer to do massive damage if the Pokemon is not a Terra. We have the Iron Hands. Iron Hands is just busted. You want to use Iron Hands against your opponent whenever they have low HP Pokemon. It just lets you run over your opponent's low HP Pokemon. Just absolutely busted card. We run the Flutter Mane. Iron Thorns can completely turn this deck off, so we want to have the Flutter Mane to be able to put that into the active with a Jet Energy, so we can use Summoning Star to be able to take out Iron Thorns specifically. Blood Moon Ursaluna, just another good attacker. We do run the Radiant Charizard. We do have the Legacy and Luminous Energy. I think the Luminous Energy is kind of hiding. Yeah, it's hiding behind my face right here. But we do have the one Luminous Energy. During the matchup, you want to bench your Radiant Charizard in like the mid to late game and just get the Luminous Energy on it ready to go. So whenever you need to attack with Charizard to close out the game, it's already set up. If your opponent tries to boss up the Radiant Charizard to trap it, you have numerous Jet Energies, you have Kieran, you have so many ways to get around that. It's not really a big deal. Just get Radiant Charizard in play with the Luminous Energy and just let it sit there until it's needed. We do run 4 Professor's Research, 4 Boss's Orders. With the introduction of Bidoof, where you kind of struggle to be able to get our Archeops into the discard with straight Ultra Ball. So we do need Professor's Research to be able to discard. We run the Serena for the same reason. If we just want to discard 2 Archeops from our hand, we can Lumineon for the Serena to do that. Even if we're not drawing any cards, it does discard those 2 cards specifically and allows us to get around Item Lock if we can't use our Ultra Balls. We play 4 Boss's Orders. You just want to take out support Pokemon. You want to hit the optimal targets with your Pokemon every single turn. Boss's Orders and Serena to take out like Rotom V and Lumineon V allow you to do that. I've won so many games just straight off of being able to boss up the support Pokemon off the bench in back-to-back turns. It just runs your opponent over. Very frustrating for them. Honestly, I've had a lot of people concede because of it, but just very, very strong. We have 2 Iono, just a good disruption card. You got to have some sort of disruption in Lugia. Refresh your hand, put your opponent down to 1-2 prize cards. Kieran is a really, really valuable card in this deck. It's a switching option and it increases your damage. If you have a double turbo energy on your Lugia V-Star, you're only doing 200 damage. With Kieran, you can bump that up to 230 and take out a lot of the big threats, the basic EXs specifically. It also allows you to take out like Regidrago, just numerous cards that you're able to take out with Kieran. Just a good card to have. It's mainly found by Lumineon. Lumineon's so busted. That's so busted. We play 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Capturing Aroma. We want to be able to get our Archeops in the discard pile as soon as possible and to be able to find our preferred target. If you get Capturing Aroma and you flip tails and you don't really know what to grab, just always grab Lumineon. You can never have too many Lumineon in your hand ready to go. We do play the 3 Great Ball. You could put Nest Ball in this deck, but I enjoy having Great Ball more than Nest Ball. You could do like 2 Great Ball, 1 Nest Ball, but I've just preferred having Great Ball. It's helped me get Archeops a few times, and I just think that's more valuable than being able to find a basic Pokemon and put it straight on the bench. We have so much draw power that normally we don't really struggle to find our best attackers. We have so much time, and this deck is so aggressive that you're normally taking prize cards so aggressively, you can kind of afford to take a turn off, honestly. We play 2 Messagoza. This also allows us to get around Item Lock. If we play Messagoza flip heads, we can search for the Pokemon we need, even if we can't play our Ultra Ball, Capturing Aroma, and Great Ball. Messagoza, good to have, good stadium bump, really helps against decks that want to use stadiums such as Area 0 under depths. We run the 4 gift energy, 4 double turbo, 4 jet. You have to run the 4 jet in this deck. You have to be able to pivot these big, heavy retreat cost Pokemon around. 2 mist energy, Dragapult is disgusting in this new format. Legacy energy, obviously you just want to offset the prize trade here. Legacy energy on Lumineon, you can Aqua Return. Legacy energy on Iron Hands, you can amp you very much. Legacy energy on Charizard, you have a 250 damage attacker that does not give up a prize card, just broken. Make sure you do not discard your legacy energy. Attach it if you have to before you use your professor's research. Don't be afraid to discard energy. You do play 17 energy total. So if you have to Ultra Ball one away or professor research away, 2 or 3 of them, you're going to be okay. You don't need all 17. The reason you play 17 is just in case you do have to discard them with professor's research and you don't just automatically lose the game. Overall, very straightforward deck list. As you'll notice, there's no Minchino, no Chinchino line in here. You just don't need them. Let's go ahead and hop into some matches, show you how it works. Oh, geez. Weirdeer Lumineon V-Star. Doesn't get much worse than that, but we are playing against an Archaludon here, so we got a pretty good shot of trying to piece this together here. Our best friend is going to be Radiant Charizard for sure. Energy Pass, that's what we like to see. Love to see a Lugia V. This is where I wish we played Jack. We have the Ultra Ball in our hand. If we played Jack, we would just kind of have everything, wouldn't we? Unfortunately, we're getting rid of a couple of our double turbos here, but I think this is going to end up being worth it. Go ahead and attach one to a Lugia V here. And we're going to go ahead and pass. This is going to get kind of sketchy. We're going to need Radiant Charizard to take a couple of our prizes here. There's Greninja. If they don't get the Dialga evolved, which they do, if they wouldn't have gotten the Dialga evolved, we could have went after it with the Lugia V-Star and a Boss's Orders, perhaps. This is a pretty tough matchup. If they have the Archaludon here with the 220 attack, I don't know if we could do much about it. All right, they didn't have it. We got really, really lucky right there. Let's see. Do we just Professor Research this entire hand away? I think that's what we do, right? We're going to go ahead and attach the gift energy. Going to go ahead and research and pray that we get the Lugia V-Star. All right, we do have the Lugia V-Star. Let's go ahead and capture an Aroma. Tails, not what we wanted to see. Let's see. We're going to grab Iron Hands for future turns. Capture an Aroma again. We're still trying to get the Lugia V-Star without actually having to play our Ultra Ball here. All right, we did get it, which is fantastic. Go ahead and Summoning Star. Bring back both of our Archeops. All right. Check our energy here. And we'll grab one more for the manual retreat. We do want to keep the jets, but we also want to keep the gift. We're going to get rid of the jet here. All right, we have to be really, really careful with the rest of our energy here. We're already down 8 energy of our 17. So we have to be very careful here. As long as our opponent doesn't get a Dialga attack off next turn, we should be fine. There's a jet energy. Perfect. How many energy do we need to knock out a Dialga V-Star? It does 40 times each energy, so 40, 80, 120, 160, 200, 240, 280. We would need 7 energy, which is doable. What are they doing here? Taking out the Weirdeer. That's a smart play. We had a bench space. It would be really nice to play Iron Hands here. We just don't have the bench space. We are going to have to jet. Jet the Lugia back up. I think that's our only play here. Yeah, we're just going to jet the Lugia back up. As long as they don't take a one-hit KO, we should be fine. We're actually not going to discard the stadium. We don't play any tool cards. So just in case they play some tool cards, we want to make sure that they're not able to use them. All right, we should be able to finish this match off with Weirdeer, and then we should be able to get the Luminous Energy attached to Radiant Charizard. Jeez, another one. I don't think we have any more Jet Energy either. We do have to keep the Weirdeer. We do need that for a one-hit KO. Ah, that's so unfortunate. We're not going to pull out the Luminous Energy yet because if they keep bossing up our stuff, we may need it to discard. All right, they for sure can't get the Dialga V-Star Star Chronos attack off next turn. So I think we just have this game wrapped up. I think this game is just over. I don't see anything that they can do. If they do get the Archaludon here, we do have the knockout with Weirdeer available, and then we can hit for weakness with the Radiant Charizard. This is one of our worst matchups, honestly. It's kind of hard for us to knock out the Archaludons and the Dialga V-Star. That's the biggest reason we play the Radiant Charizard. It does help in these type of matchups. It hits for weakness on the Metal Pokemon and a lot of really powerful Grass Pokemon that we struggle against. There's a Duraludon. Turo. If we could get a boss's orders here, that would be great. Yeah, we don't need to do anything here. We're just going to Tempest Dive. And we can actually take 3 prizes with Ampy very much now if they do take a knockout here. We have a lot of routes to victory here. Yeah, they need a manual attachment, and they need 2 Metal Defenders to get this going. Just don't see it. Just don't see it. Kind of a dominating game. We didn't really have a good starter or really like a good setup or anything, but our opponent's also kind of having a bad time. But it does kind of show the little bit of the versatility of Lugia with the Weirdeer and the Radiant Charizard in these type of matchups. All right, there's the Legacy Energy. That was a big card that we were missing. That's why I was kind of conserving the energy. That's why I didn't put the Luminous Energy on the Radiant Charizard, because I was kind of worried that we would run out of energy with how many we had to discard in the beginning of the game. All right, so we need to do 300. I think we need 8 energy to do 300, correct? Geez, still don't have it. So we have 3 if we retreat, 5, 7, 8 in hand. I don't think we actually have that many in the deck. Let's check. Do we have 4 energy in the deck? I don't believe so. Nope, just 3. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the Luminous on the Radiant Charizard. And we could just finish this up with really any attacker next turn. I'm not going to be able to use the Weirdeer's ability, but we still will be able to do 80 damage to take the last, or we need 120. So we'll do the 3 from deck, and then we have it. No problem. The lack of supporters here is kind of crazy. We didn't see, but what, 1 supporter, the research? That's crazy. There's a boss. A little bit too late. All right. We did conserve enough energy, just barely, to pull this game out. All right. And there's the 120 for the last prize card. They did have a very bad setup. They were struggling quite a bit, but I think that we had the prize route kind of no matter what they did there. If they would have done the Star Chronos and taken out the Lugia V-Star that first turn, then we had the Weirdeer and we had the Radiant Charizard answer. I think it would have been really, really tough for them to do a whole lot there. Looks like we're playing against a Goldingo, perhaps. Goldingo is a pretty bad matchup for us if we don't have Radiant Charizard. Thankfully, we have Radiant Charizard. Helps quite a bit, actually. If we can get a really, really fast Iron Hands, that would be really good as well. Just depends on how aggressively we can get our Archeops in the discard pile. Iron Hands, perfect. All right, there's the Gimme Ghoul. Another Iono. Heads, heads, heads. Ah. I have been missing the Jack in this deck. I'm not going to lie. I have been missing the Jack. Do we just grab double Lugia just to be safe? I think we do just one. Come on. Not a single Archeops. All right, we'll just pass. That's super unfortunate. We didn't get an Archeops off of the Great Ball or the Capturing Aroma. We took our pretty good start into kind of a bad start, honestly. Looking like our first loss is coming up. It's not looking too good here. Unless we get the absolute nuts off of this Iono into an Archeops, where we like top deck of Professor's Research here, we're going to have a bad time. If we had the Jack, we could just Lumineon, and we could have got Lumineon instead of this Lugia. And then, yeah, we would have had a much better time. We probably should have grabbed the Lumineon anyway, and then Ultra Balled for the one Archeops, and then hoped we got one more. We're going to go ahead and attach the Mist Energy, and I guess we're going to hit the Iono. We get it every time, without fail. That is so lucky right there. What do we even grab? We just grab Lumineon just to have it in hand. That was the craziest Iono I've ever seen. That was pure luck right there. All right, let's see if we can get the Iron Hands play off. If we get 2 prizes right here, it's going to be really, really good for us. Let's check and make sure we have our Legacy Energy. We do have our Legacy Energy. Oh, we are golden. And we'll just grab a double turbo here. The damage reduction doesn't really matter in this matchup with the 70 HP Gimme Ghouls and the Togepi. So, attaching that energy kind of saved our bacon there for sure. I guess we did have the Jet. We could have used the Jet to pull up the Iron Hands, but this also worked. We don't need the Messagoza. Let's just amp you very much. Take 2 prize cards. That was probably the best Iono I've ever seen. 2 Archeops and an Ultra Ball whenever we had absolutely nothing. Just, that's crazy. I think that almost guarantees game for us with Radiant Charizard at the bare minimum, because they're only going to take 1 prize card off Iron Hands if they even knock out Iron Hands. If they don't knock out Iron Hands and they evolve this, we can use Lumineon, grab a boss, and amp you very much on another of their small HP Pokemon, and then we'll be up 4 prizes. And I don't think there's a whole lot they can really do, but it looks like they will get the knockout here. Kind of hoping that they bench Fez and Dippity. That would be preferable. Should be grabbing Energy Search Pro here. Energy Search Pro with Radiant Greninja, if they play Radiant Greninja. I don't think there's a single Ultra Ball. Maybe they got the Energy Search in hand. We're about to find out. This could be kind of scary if they flip a couple heads. That's probably their route to victory. Not too... Why'd they discard 2 Buddy Poffins? That's kind of crazy. Why didn't they play those? Definitely should have played those Buddy Poffins. They would need 5 of these 6 cards to be energies to be able to take a knockout. So I think we're sitting pretty. I think we're going to start 7-0 with this deck. Oh, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I am missing the Jack. The Jack in this deck is... I think that's a card that we need to put back in, because there's been a few instances where I needed to Lumineon for Archeops with the Jack. Yeah, so... Lumineon for boss. Can't believe we didn't see a single boss there. It would have been nice to just have one. Go ahead and take the other Gimme Ghoul. The Togepi is not too much of a threat now that we're up 4 prize cards. With Goldingo being weak to fire, Radiant Charizard basically guarantees this game. Once they take a knockout here, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Radiant Charizard and just put the Luminous Energy on it, and then we're guaranteed to be able to get an attack off with it into their Goldingo, which is their only attacker for the most part. Sometimes Goldingo will play like a Scyther Scizor line. Sometimes they'll play... like Blood Moon or Saluna. Sometimes I'll play Palkia, but this is definitely one of our bad matchups if we don't play Radiant Charizard. We've actually had 2 bad matchups back to back here, and we're winning them both pretty handily. Our opponent really hasn't been able to do anything here. It's almost like Pokemon Trading Card Game Live knows what the knows what the bad matchups are and purposely gives them to you. All right, so they will get a knockout here, but we have a return KO with Ultra Ball, Lumineon, second boss's order on the Fezandipity. We don't even have to take out the Goldingo. We're going to take all 6 prizes against a Goldingo deck without actually even attacking a Goldingo a single time. That is busted. Absolutely busted, man. We didn't prize our second Lumineon. I didn't check for that. We could just top deck the boss and make it a lot easier. That would be best case scenario. All right, they should have knockout here. They did play the Energy Search Pro. How many energies did they get? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 energy. Crazy. I've been having a lot of fun with Goldingo, but you do really need single prize attackers. There's a Togekiss. Are they going to get 3 prizes here? Or 2 prizes with the Legacy? How does that work? It would just be 2 prizes, right? It's a weird interaction. Made me think about it a little bit. All right. Are they going to get the heads? Ow, they got the heads on the Wonder Kiss. Lucky. It's still only 2 prizes, though. That's just lucky right there. All right. There's the Radzard. Let's capture an Aroma. We could check our deck really fast just to make sure we have the play that we want here. Go ahead and search. Lumineon. That's what we needed to make sure on. This is why we play double Lumineon. Back-to-back boss's orders to win the game. It's disgusting, man. All right, go ahead and get the energy in play with our Archeops. You know, we put 2 Mist Energy in our decks to play Dragapult, but we haven't played a single Dragapult yet. We've played 7 games, and we haven't seen a single Dragapult yet. All right, Lumineon, Luminous Sign. Gonna miss that card. Hopefully they reprint something similar. They normally do. Boss's orders on the support Pokemon, Fezandipity, and we'll take the last 2 prize cards. Very, very dominating game by Lugia V-Star right there. Mainly because Iron Hands is broken, but I think with Radzard, I think we go from unfavored to favored in the Goldingo matchup. We also go from unfavored to kind of 50-50 against Archaludon, and we just had back-to-back matches against those really, really bad matchups for us. All right. We're going to play a couple more, play the full 10 rounds, see what we can end up with. Starting off 7-0, this deck is feeling really good. I'm going to have to dig back out the Lugia and Lugia V-Stars out of my bulk. They've just been sitting in there because Lugia has just been kind of a dead deck for a while. Come on, what is with the Weirdeer and Lumineon starts? This is the 3rd game where these have been our 2 options. Ooh, slack off. Gross. All right, we're going to start with capturing Aroma. Got to get a Lugia V here. Not that. We didn't want that. All right, Great Ball. We're going to have all 4 Archeops and not a single Lugia V. If we don't have a Lugia V, I think we just lose, right? Okay. We got Lugia V. And we have Professor's Research for next turn. We're actually in a pretty good spot here. All right, we'll go ahead and pass. We do have 3 Archeops in hand. So we have Lumineon for Professor's Research next turn. Is this the Slacking EX? That does 260 damage, right? All right, Tails for them, which is fantastic. Hopefully we get another use off that. Hopefully we get another head so we can just straight up get our Lugia V-Star. That would be so nice. Arven, probably grabbing Buddy Poffin, and I'm not sure what tool you would play in this deck. Maybe a Sealstone with a Rotom. I haven't really played too many Slacking decks. I'm honestly kind of unfamiliar with what to expect in this matchup. Hey, I called it though. I'm honestly excited for the Sealstone to rotate. It's kind of an absurdly broken card. Being able to search for any card, like the Rotom V, Luminion V, for Sealstone, like setup engine is just, it's getting old, man. I'm just tired of every single deck. You know, you start building a deck and you're like, oh, I got to put in my V Pokemon and my 4 Sealstone to make it all, you know, tie together. Gets that final gets the final puzzle piece for you and everything. All right, the grab Manaphy, which is good for us. I mean, it's just a wasted bench space. We do not play the Ogerpon. A lot of people do play the Wellspring Ogerpon for the bench sniping attack. I don't think it's valuable enough to play. I think it's too much of a liability. It does help whenever you're playing against decks that have Area 0. Allows you to get rid of liabilities on your own bench. But bench space is at such a premium that you never want to bench it, even if you do have the opportunity to bench snipe. You would much rather just play Iron Hands. Take 2 prizes with Iron Hands versus the bench snipe. Boomerang Energy. I have never seen that card played. This card is discarded by an effect of an attack used by your Pokemon. That's actually, I'm guessing, Slack King discard stuff. Like I said, I'm not super familiar with the deck. All right, heads. I kind of want to grab Iron Hands here. If we get Iron Hands off right here, I think we just win. I think we're going to go ahead and do it. I think we're going to kind of risk it here. We're going to play the Luminion for research and just hope we get a V-Star. We have so many outs to a V-Star. It'd be very unfortunate if we didn't get one. Another reason why I wish we were playing Jack. All right, research. Never punished. Never punished. All right, Summoning Star. Watch me not be a dummy and prize Legacy Energy. That would have been hilarious. I'm not gonna lie. I should have prize checked that. Always prize check for your Legacy before committing to Iron Hands for sure. All right, one more energy here. Go ahead and grab a Mist. Don't really know what this deck does, to be honest. All right, thank you very much. Take our 2 prizes. Hopefully we get a boss here. Boss would have been really, really nice. Because I don't think there's any shot that they have a way to get all of these liabilities out of play. Does Iron Hands on your second turn with Lugia V-Star just always guarantee the win? Like, is it possible to lose if you take 2 prizes with Iron Hands on your second turn with Lugia V-Star? I don't think I've ever lost a match where I've gotten Iron Hands on my second turn. We got super lucky there. We could have been heavily punished if we missed the V-Star, but we did have 3 Ultra Balls. We had 3 V-Stars. We had, 2 Great Balls left. We had 3 Capturing Aromas. Like, we had a lot of outs to be able to get there, and we just straight up got the V-Star, which is nice. Does anybody know the math on, like, shuffling your deck? And, you know, you have, we had 37, we had 41 cards, so you draw 7 off of a 41 card deck. Like, what are the odds to pull 3 specific cards? Has to be pretty high, right? Probably close to 10%. All right, there's the Pidgeotto. There's the Slack King. It's pretty cool to see the deck evolution with Badoo. Everyone kind of just going to... that's kind of scary. That's kind of scary. Do we have an answer for Slack King? 340. That is a lot. That's a lot of damage. My math says we're in trouble. We would need 9 energy. 9 to take a 1-hit KO. That's disgusting. Oh, that's disgusting. They'll probably dump the Boomerang. If they dump the Boomerang, which is fantastic, this is actually good for us. If they dump that, that means that they keep the double turbo, which means they can't take a knockout on the V-Star, which is our route to victory. Like, that is how we win right there. 9 energy, man. I mean, we could get there. It's just not going to be a good time. That's crazy. All right. We're going to do a gift. And we're going to do a mist. Do we want to play another Lugia down? I think we do. I think Lugia is our best attacker here. We do need to get energy in play. So unfortunately, I think we just have to go ahead and... I think we're going to put him on the Lugia V because we can always use the ability here with jet energy. I think that's the play. We don't need to boss anything. We just need to take... We need to take 2 hit KOs on this Slacking here. Them having the double turbo energy on helps us so much. That is definitely the energy they should have discarded. This looks like a pretty fun deck, actually. I mean, doing 280 damage if your opponent plays EX or V, when everybody plays EX and V Pokemon, 280 is just the perfect number, right? It's probably the only deck that Boomerang energy is going to see any use. Yeah, here they're going to go after the Lugia V on the bench. Super unfortunate. That's fine as well. Completely fine. I honestly wasn't expecting that. They definitely should have went after the Lugia V. Like, taking out the Weird Deer does eliminate the threat, but now they're going to struggle. If we still had our Legacy, I would have attacked with Lumineon here. All right. We're going to play Messagoza. We're going to see if we can get our Radzard here. That might be our last attacker. Sweet. Love to see it. Yeah, let's go ahead and grab Radzard. We're going to go ahead and grab the Luminous Energy. I've never, like, regretted doing this. Like, just grabbing out the Radzard, putting the Luminous Energy on. Normally, it's better when you have Weird Ear still as an option. But it's also just... It's super viable just like this. I think we just Iono, right? Yeah, let's put him down to 3. Make it harder for them to get the Pidgeot and the next Slacking. All right, we are going to dump the Messagoza here. I don't think it's possible for them to win. They do have the 280 attack here. They just need Rare Candy, Slacking, and a Boomerang Energy. They need 3 cards off of their 4-card hand. Can they do it? There's the Poffin, so they need all 3 of these cards to be exactly what they need. Or they need like a Research in hand. I don't think it matters if they get the Slacking, right? Because we could just boss around it. Not what we wanted. All right, we're going to kind of feign that we don't have anything else in hand. But we do have 2 Capturing Aromas, and we have the Lumineon with the boss's orders to take out whatever we want on their bench. Probably the Manaphy. If they evolve everything else up, we can at least get the Manaphy, right? Yeah, between 2 Capturing Aromas and Great Ball, we should have this game wrapped up. We could just top deck a boss as well. We're going to start 8-0 with this deck. It's crazy. There you go. Straight evolution. All right, so they do have the 1-hit KO here on the Lugia Visar. If they hit us with Iono, that's completely fine because they're going to activate a gift energy no matter what they do here, probably. I don't see a route for them to do anything. Like, they have to start attacking. If they pass here again, we're just going to swing and we don't really have to do anything else. Just make it look like we have a dead hand. First deck I've ever seen use Boomerang Energy. I'm going to have to try this deck. I think I'm going to try this deck. Seems like they're kind of severely lacking, like, just search in general. 340 HP is crazy, though. That's a lot of HP. I guess if you're playing a single prize deck, you're going to have a bad time, too. I wonder what their backup attacker is. Is it just the is the Pidgeot the backup attacker? That'd be kind of funny if it was, honestly. All right, so they do have Slacking here, but it's completely fine. Like I said, if they play Iono, put us down to 1. That would actually be best case scenario, because then we're seeing 6 cards. Rotom, 4 Seal Zone. Okay, last card in the hand, Iono, of course. All right, we have game in hand. I guess they could have a counter catcher. They could have a counter catcher. Could go after something without an energy on it. Then we would be in trouble. But that's kind of asking for a lot. I mean, they had a lot here. They had Pidgeot, Rare Candy, Slacking, Energy, Rotom, and then Iono. That's a pretty good turn for this deck, it seems like. That's cool. Boomerang Energy is cool when it works. Yeah, there's the boss. We had pretty good odds of just getting the boss off the gift energy. All right, we're gonna finish the game with the Radzard. We'll take out poor little Manaphy there, or the Rotom. Make him think twice about playing Rotom. Debating on keeping this arena, but the odds are Regigigas is priced. All right, we lose. I'm done. I'm done with this one. 9-1. You can't complain about that. We hardcore bricked in our final match. Otherwise, we would have went 10-0. We prized our Regigigas against the Terra deck. The whole reason we played the Regigigas. Let me know what you guys think of Lugia with Regigigas. Are you guys enjoying playing Lugia again, or is it just Brick City for you guys like it was for me in that last match? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think of the deck. Make sure you check out the video right over here, and I'll see you in the next one.